If you want to know how to come home with Disney vacation photos you love, you're in the right place, because today I have 3 steps to help you do just that. Hi, I'm Carrie, and I share tips and tricks to help you take awesome photos on your Disney vacation. Before we start, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell, because I have so many awesome Disney photo tip videos coming out soon. I'm a photographer and I travel to Disney often, and these are the 3 steps I use every vacation to make sure I come home with photos I love. Within each step, I have a bunch of smaller steps to help you come home with Disney photos that you're proud of and that you love. So make sure to hang on till the end to check out all the tips I have for you. The first step to get Disney vacation photos you love starts before you're even on vacation, and that is plan. You have planned everything to help your vacation be as magical as possible, from your hotel stay, your dining reservations, Genie Plus, the rides, the food, all of it. Putting photos on your Disney planning list is not something that a lot of people are doing, but I promise, by spending a little time planning the photos you're going to take on your vacation can help you come home with some of those magical memories you made in photo form, and you'll be so happy you did the work up front to come home with those photos. The different things to think about when planning your photos are scheduling photo time in your day, photo spot, photo inspiration, deciding if you're going to purchase Memory Maker, what equipment you're going to use, and any plans you have for taking video. I'm going to explain why you want to plan each of these things, so stick with me. Scheduling time in your day to take photos is so important. Our Disney days can get so full of all the things there are to see, like characters, attractions, fireworks, parades, all of it. If your schedule is so packed full of things you want to do and see, photos are probably the first thing that are going to get crossed off your list. It is totally possible to take great photos quickly, but it's also good to be realistic about how much you're scheduling into your day and then how much time that leaves to take photos. If you have small kiddos, you know that everything with them takes a little bit longer than if you were just traveling with adults. Scheduling extra time for photos with your little ones will help you stay relaxed so that they can be calm and hopefully pose and have fun while you're taking the photos that you really want to come home with. Or if you want a lot of different castle photos, there's a lot of different spots around the castle that you could go. It might take some time to walk to each of those spots, so planning extra time in your day for that can really help you accomplish your goal of getting really great photos on your vacation. When you squish so much into your day that you don't take the photos that you want, it is such a bummer, especially when you get home and you really had high hopes of getting all those photos. Another thing to plan is photo spot. There are unlimited spots in the parks and resorts for photos. There are awesome walls, there are the 50th anniversary statues that are up right now, and Epcot always has a festival going on with limited time photo ops. So knowing where these locations are can save you a lot of time and stress. Finding these spots on the My Disney Experience app map, that's hard to say, can help you be aware of where the photo spots you like are located. Because once you know the location, then you can stop to take the photos that you want. As you're heading from one attraction to the next, a photo spot that's on your list might be on the way. So knowing where those spots are on your map can help you save a lot of time. One of my favorite photo spots is the Purple Wall in Tomorrowland. But I would love to know, what are some of your favorite photo spots? Let me know in the comments below. Do you have something memorable that you want photos celebrating on your vacation? This is where planning or getting inspiration from others can be super helpful before you leave for Disney. Maybe you have a baby announcement, an engagement, or maybe you're even taking a trip to celebrate the life of a loved one. Even for my Disney trips, when I'm not celebrating or commemorating anything, I love getting inspiration for my photos from other Disney World travelers. I love looking on Instagram. I search by hashtag and location, and Disney Facebook groups are also really good for this. People are so creative, and it's just so fun to see the different ideas people have for commemorating special events. I follow a lot of Disney creators and get a lot of my inspiration from them. And you can always check out my Instagram feed to get some inspiration from my photos as well. Sometimes it's hard to think of a really cute or unique photo idea on the spot, so gathering inspiration before you leave is super helpful, especially if you want to bring props or something special to commemorate whatever it is you're celebrating. Deciding if you're going to purchase Memory Maker is something else to plan before your vacation. Purchasing Memory Maker and having the PhotoPass photographers take pictures of you and your entire travel party is a great way to get awesome Disney photos on your vacation. I have 2 videos about PhotoPass and Memory Memory Maker. One is about what it is, and the other one is about if I think it's worth it. So check those out when you have time. Planning on if you're going to use Memory Maker or not can help you think through your other Disney photo plans. So if you're not using Memory Maker, how do you plan to get a photo with everyone you're traveling with? Are you going to ask a stranger to take your photo? Are you going to prop your phone up on something and use the self timer? If you have a smartwatch or an Apple Watch, you can set that up to your phone to take photos. So just thinking through how you're thinking through how you're going to get photos of your entire travel group if you're not using Memory Maker can be really helpful before you go. If you are using Memory Maker, understanding how it works, how much it costs, and what's included is also really good to plan before you leave for your trip. The main perk of using Memory Maker is you have a professional Disney photographer, a PhotoPass photographer, taking your photo in front of some of the most beautiful Disney locations. You'll then get that high quality photo, which is usually better than a cell phone photo. You'll get that in your My Disney Experience app for you to download and use however you like. So purchasing Memory Maker is one really great way to be sure that you come home with great Disney photos that you love. Another thing to think about when planning your photos is what equipment will you be bringing? Are you going to bring a DSLR? If so, you also have to think about all the equipment that goes with that. Extra batteries, different lenses, maybe a different camera bag to carry all your equipment in. How are you going to pack your camera bag for the park? Thinking through all those details can really help you decide what equipment you want to bring with you. If you just plan to use your cell phone as your camera, it's really good to pack an external battery as well. You're going to be on your phone all day using the My Disney Experience app, maybe placing mobile orders for food, maybe using Genie Plus, and that's going to just suck the life out of your battery. It's a really big bummer to run out of battery on your phone if you were planning on using that as your camera as well. So bringing some sort of external battery charger is a great idea. There are phone charging stations and outlets you can use at Disney, but it's really a bummer to have to plug your cord into the wall and just sit there for an hour or however long it takes to charge your phone up again. I had to do that on my last trip and it was just making me very antsy. So having that external battery charger is a super helpful thing to have with you so that you can be sure to get photos if your phone is your main camera on your trip. It's also a really good idea before your trip to make sure you know exactly how to use the equipment you'll be using. So if you have a new DSLR, make sure you feel comfortable with it. You don't want to get it delivered the night before and unbox it the morning of your trip. That's really stressful and confusing. I mean, unless you're like super brilliant, but I'm not. I'm not that way. Your camera, if you plan on using the self timer, make sure to practice with that. Make sure that you know where the self timer is. If you have a smartwatch, you can look up how to sync it to your phone. So you can press the photo button on your watch for your phone to take pictures. It's really cool and really helpful. So getting to know your equipment that you're going to be using before you go is really helpful because it's going to help save a lot of time when you're there so that you're not putzing with your stuff trying to figure it out in the moment. Okay, the last thing to think about when planning your photos is actually a video tip. Are you going to take video? If so, what is the purpose of that video? Are you hoping to piece together all of your clips for a really awesome family film of your vacation? If so, when you're filming, you're going to want to think about how you're using your phone. If you're using it vertically, are you going to be doing more TikToks and Reels? If it's vertical, maybe that would be better for if you're going to watch your video on a computer or on the TV, maybe for YouTube, something like that. So when you're actually filming, think about the direction of your phone. Because if you take a whole bunch of mixed up footage, when you piece that together for your film, if every single clip is kind of mixed up in a different direction, it's not going to look as good. It's going to be pieced together awesome if all of the footage that you take is in the same direction. Have you ever seen that where someone has maybe a YouTube video and they film some horizontally, some vertically? It's a little distracting and you're kind of like, oh, I wish I could see more of the footage. So just think that through as you're filming when you're at Disney. A lot of times something happens, like a parade happens, and we just grab our phone and we lift it up and start filming, not really thinking about what we're going to use this for later. So thinking through what is the purpose of whatever it is you're filming and trying to keep all of your clips consistent can really, really help. Yay! So now that you have thought through all of those things, you have all your plans in action, now it's time for the second step to be sure that you come home with Disney photos that you love. The second step is to tell the people you're traveling with what your plans for photos are. It is very possible that every person you're traveling with has a different idea of what's important to them on their Disney vacation. So make sure you're telling your family, your friends, your travel buddies what your plans are for photos. This can help in a couple ways. This can help to set expectations so everybody's on the same page. It can help with scheduling of each day. It can help everybody prepare, and it can even help you budget better, especially if you're going to be purchasing Memory Maker. Once you think through what photos are important to you, you have your plan, you think about how much time you want to spend each day taking photos. When you tell the people you're traveling with about your photo plans and why it's important to you, they will hopefully be understanding of that and want to do everything they can to make sure that you get those photos. It's going to be a lot easier to get the photos you want if you share your plans with the people you're traveling with before you leave, rather than sort of spring it on them or surprise them as you're running around the parks each day. If they have a different agenda or different things that are important to them than you, they might get really frustrated wondering why you're asking them to stop for photo after photo if that's your plan. So sharing it with your travel people before you go can be super helpful to be sure that you actually end up getting the photos that you want. If everyone you're traveling with is on the same page with plans, you will have photos scheduled into your day, and even if you have a lot of things going on during your park day, photos will not be the first thing crossed off your list. This is also really helpful when you're traveling with kids. Only you know how your kids react to photos, but I find it especially helpful when I remind my kids over and over and a little bit before the trip that, hey, this is really important to mom. These photos are really special to me, and help them understand that we're going to take an awesome photo by the castle, or here's our plans for photos, and even getting them involved in the photo plans can really help. Maybe they have a photo that they really want to take, so getting them on board and talking about your photo plans just like you're talking about your plans for attractions or fireworks or whatever it is can really help them be excited about the process as well. Telling the people you're traveling with about your plans can also help them mentally prepare. This might sound a little bit excessive, but some people just hate having their photo taken. They're not interested in it, but if you share with them why it's important to you to come home with these beautiful, memorable photos, they might be a little more agreeable to taking a photo with you in the moment while they're at Disney. If PhotoPass is high on your priority list, discussing this with the person you're budgeting with for your trip can be really helpful, because like everything else at Disney, it comes with a price tag. So deciding before your trip if you want to purchase or not can be really helpful by either budgeting differently for other things, or if you decide it's not for you, then maybe you have some extra money for something else. All right, finally comes the third step for making sure you come home with Disney photos that you love. You have planned, you have told, and now it's time for your vacation, which means it's time to pull out your camera and actually take the photos.
Take the photos.
Take the photos. It sounds very simple. And it is and isn't. This is where all the planning you did really helps, because this step is all about sticking with your plan as best as you can. Have you ever gone on vacation, come home, looked through your photos, and thought there must have been more? That happens so often to people I talk to, and it's so easy at Disney to get distracted by everything going on. It's easy to be tired and sweaty and hungry and decide to just keep moving on instead of stopping for photos. If you have purchased Memory Maker and the lines are really long for the PhotoPass photographers, it's really easy just to skip it all together and not get your photo taken, because sometimes standing in another long line is not ideal when you're tired and sweaty. I have definitely had these moments at Disney where I'm tired, my back hurts, where it's just easier to keep on going than it is to stop, pull my camera out of my bag, and take pictures. So for those times that you're hot and sweaty and tired, remember to sticking to your plan. That's how you're going to come home with Disney vacation photos that you love. If coming home with Disney vacation photos you love is a high priority for you, this step is going to be so much fun. There are endless opportunities for awesome photos on your Disney vacation. My biggest advice is to stay flexible and enjoy the moments. Think about why you planned this vacation in the first place. Was it to enjoy your kids while they're really little? To celebrate a special event? Just to relax and have fun? Take photos of the moments you planned and all the little moments in between. So the goal is not perfection. The goal is to come home with vacation photos that make you remember that feeling of being at Walt Disney World with the people that you love. So trust your planning and trust that you will love the photos that you take, because they're your memory. If you follow these 3 steps, plan, tell, and take the photos, I promise you will come home with Disney vacation photos that you love. I hope you found this video helpful, and I would love if you would tag me on Instagram in any Disney vacation photos that you take. I'm at photograph_the_magic. I'm sending you magic today and every day. Bye, friends.